I want to teach you how to figure out what keywords are working in Google and what you should make your next article about. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison from HarrisonBarron.com, and like I just said, I'm pointing here at my computer like you can actually see it. Weird. But in this video, I'm going to be covering what you actually need to do. I mean, literally what you need to follow in order to get your blogs ranking faster, figure out what keywords are working, and figure out what is your next article to write about. I know this might sound crazy, and you're probably like, Harrison, what are you, some kind of scientist? Yeah, I am, all right? We're going to dive into my computer. We're going to figure that out together, right? I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I'm gonna teach you how to do this so that way you can dominate your competition, because who doesn't want to be the first? All right? Everybody wants to be the first. Second is your first loser. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. All right? That's it. That's what we're doing today. We're doing that, all right? So if you're into that kind of thing and you want to keep staying on top of your competition, beating them out on the regular, all right, you should hit like on this video because it's going to help other people beat their competition. And while you're here, subscribe, because I'm going to help you make a lot more money and grow a really successful business, because that's what I do. All right, so let's jump into my computer here, because that's really it. That's all I got for an intro. So in here, we have my personal website, HarrisonBarron.com, because it has the most data and I've been probably the most active. My agency probably would be the second best thing, but we rebranded, so we reset everything on there, which is whatever. So let's dive into this, will you? First things first, this is your Google Search Console. If you're not familiar with it, go check the links down below, because I'm going to be dropping a link down there to teach you how to understand your Google Search Console. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about identifying what we need to create and what keywords are working. So right off the bat, you're going to jump in here. You're going to be able to see what keywords are working right off the bat. You're going to just click here on the position, which is being covered conveniently by me. I'm going to shrink myself down here really quickly so that way you can see me still. And you are going to do your rows for, let's just say, 100 for the sake of this this exercise here. And I'm going to put myself up here in the top right, and you'll be able to see all 100 of the top keywords. I'm actually ranking for more than 100 keywords or queries on the first page of Google, which is pretty cool. And you'll see here that we've capped out, we've hit 1,000 words, and you can't see it because it's currently cut off my screen here. But you could see 1,000 words down here, which is phenomenal. So how do we go about this? How do we figure out exactly what keywords are working? Well, the first thing we want to understand is what words are we currently ranking for, right? We have Is Alignable Worth It, our podcast live, right? And you want to go through, and there's a couple different things that I'm looking for. Thing number one is, what do I have a lot of content about already? Now, everybody is going to have their own individual thoughts on their website, but I know that I have a lot of LinkedIn content, alignable content, podcast content, and I'm starting to break into Kajabi. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to be using Kajabi, but just think about what areas you have a lot of content in. And to save myself time, I'm actually going to pull out, and I know it's going to slow down Google a good bit, but I'm actually going to pull out the top 500 words, because I think that that's a pretty fair amount. Now, my computer's obviously slowing down because it's trying to pull so much information, and I'm just going to skip around and go right to what I need. So we have Kajabi SEO, right? And that's position 10. And this is really where you want to look. You want to look for your keywords that are ranking in position 10 to position 30. And there's a couple different areas that you want to focus on. So we have Kajabi SEO. Now I'm currently ranking for 5 different words with Kajabi. So Kajabi and SEO, SEO Kajabi, which is great. And then we have Kajabi blog, and then we have Kajabi website, which is phenomenal. Now, in here, you see Kajabi website, and I'm position 60, so that's a little too far out. And the reason why I say it's a little too far out is because at position 60, it's pretty hard to get that all the way up, and I know what article it's currently attached to. You can click on it, and it's going to show you guys what article it's currently attached to, which is going to be how to do Kajabi SEO and start getting more traffic to your website, which is phenomenal. But here's the problem with all of that. That keyword or that query doesn't really mean anything because it's not what the article is about, and it's not what I'm looking for. This article, yes, it is about a Kajabi website, but it's not actually about Kajabi websites. It's really about Kajabi SEO. That is where a lot of people go wrong. So I'm going to back out of this really quickly, and we're going to go back to Kajabi. And what I'm looking for is, once again, that 20-ish to like 40-ish number here, which, here we go, we have a Kajabi blog. So if you click into this, and we can start to see, okay, great, there is a lot of impressions on this, and we can see what our average position is. It's position number 32, and what page is it going to, how to do Kajabi SEO to start getting traffic to your website, right? Now, I know that this word is probably not going to rank too much higher in Google, just because if I go to Kajabi blog, you want to go here and you want to actually search it in Google, right? This is really what's important. And you want to go through and you just want to see what is actually going to, or what's currently ranking, right? And how many people are in front of you, right? Just blogging on Kajabi versus Squarespace, which is better, Eric or Friday, the Kajabi and marketing blog, right? Kajabi review 2021 blog. I mean, it's honestly, it's pretty low competition. I'd actually be curious to see what the first handful of posts look like that are not made from Kajabi. So right here we have ramosauthor.com, we have supplygem.com, and pennyinyourpocket.com. So in here we have Ramos author, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong here, but I mean, this is a pretty intense blog. Is it something I could compete for? Probably. But if you go through, we're going to just hit the SEO minion. We're going to just check how many words it's 4,300 words. I mean, that is an article and a half. In here, you have a shorter blog, which is, nope, I don't want to take advantage of this. Leave me alone, please. Don't. Thank you. And in here, you'll have a much, much shorter blog, which is good. I mean, if that's number 2 as far as organic searches, there's some opportunity here. And this is kind of what you have to get your mind into thinking, right? What can I do, right? What is the likelihood of me competing for this? And we're just going to use SEO menu again. We're at 1,254 words. And we're just going to go in here. She's got a blog. I'm assuming it's a she, but yes, it's a she, penny in your pocket, right? And we're just going to go through and we are going to do our SEO minion. And on this page, there's 326 words. So this means there is a massive, massive opportunity to starting a blog on Kajabi and writing a really good article about it, right? Kajabi does rank for 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top spots, but numbers 5, 6, and 7 on here are completely vacant. And that is the best part. So now I know, hey, I'm ranking position 32, right? It's leading to another page that doesn't really talk about the blog in Kajabi. Yes, it does talk, it mentions the blog, but it's not specific. So now that I've identified that and I see that, now I can understand and say, hey, you know what? Now I can go make a better article. So that is exactly how you have to go about finding what keywords. I didn't write about a Kajabi blog. Yes, it's necessary to do the work that you want, or you want the results to get, right? That's literally what it comes out to be. But if you go to this, you can see how to do Kajabi SEO. And this talks all about the technical process of Kajabi SEO. It actually doesn't really mention the Kajabi blog all that much, and I'm actually curious. It does mention the blog. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it mentions the blog about 22 times specifically. And this is really, really good, right? This is helpful information that is now going to allow me to make another article. Now, what you can start to see is, hey, this article, right, relates a lot to blogging, but it's not about the blog, and I'm never going to rank number 1 or number 2. In this case, I'm happy with number 2. That first article is phenomenal, and it's probably been around for a little while. I'm curious to see if there's a date on this article, but this is what I needed to know. I needed to know if I could rank for this specific piece of content. And can I don't quite know yet, but being the fact that there's really only one good article worth of competition, chances are pretty good. I could probably rise to the top pretty quickly. So now that I've identified that keyword, I've realized that it's low competition. Now I know what my next article is going to be, right? I know that the keyword that I need to go after is Kajabi blog. It pointed itself out because it was in another article. And that is exactly how you use this entire process. There's no cheat codes, there's no secret sauce, there's no paid software. This is purely just looking at the data that you already have from Google Search Console, going in, doing the homework, doing the legwork, and saying, you know what, how do I get better? How do I make an article that's going to rank on Google? And you know what, now just to prove that this video is true, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go write an article about a Kajabi blog and why you probably need one, and I'm going to rank on Google. So come back in 2 or 3 months, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this, because some people think like, oh, this is like secret sauce, like you're doing something different. I apologize. I had something in my eye. But some people are like, you're doing something different. You're doing something that I could never do. No, you're wrong. You can absolutely do this. Just follow this process. It literally points itself out, right? You just have to go through and search for those keywords that are ranking between 20 and really like 40, maybe 50 on the high end. And the cool part is Google now knows that I know about Kajabi blogging. And this is what a lot of people forget. They're like, oh, well, it's a new blog. Yes, but you already have proof that you know what you're talking about, right? I already have an article ranking in the top 10 on Google, so now I just know that it's pointing itself out. It's not all that difficult to do, it's just doing the homework beforehand. So if I wanted to find something else to make an article about, I can go through and I could just look, like, what am I ranking for on the top 10 on Google? And we're just going to pull this out. We're going to hit position again. And I'm going to do the exact same process twice over so you guys can see it. I was hoping this is going to be a short video, but you're just going to go through and you're going to look for what are you ranking in the 20 spot for? How to record a podcast on iPhone, right? Okay, sounds good. What is this linked to? Right, we're going to look at this. This is linked to create a podcast on iPhone. So not bad. Now we can go through. And now that this has pointed itself out, this might be too weak of an article. I might need to go back and figure this one out. Right, this is directly linked to an article. But what you're going to do is you're going to look for a keyword or query that is not directly linked to the title of an article. And then you can go back and write that article. Just look at the competition. If there's a lot of competition, you got to weigh out the pros and cons. But for other articles like this one, to get my that query of how to record a podcast on iPhone to rank number 1 on Google is probably not that difficult, at least on the top 10 on Google. It's that simple. It's going through, it's doing the legwork, doing the research, and then executing that. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And now you can rank articles. And the more you do this, the more you're going to show Google that you're an expert in this area. And it's kind of like building a sandcastle, right? You can't just or any kind of construction, right? You have to have a foundation, which is going to be your website, the content that you have. And then after that, it's just adding another layer. It's like adding another floor on the building, adding another floor on the building. The nice part is as long as your website builder can handle all the floors, you're good. So in this case, I'm on Webflow now. You could go through and I can create 1,000 articles out of my 243, I think, or 10,000 articles. I mean, that's an absurd amount of content. So this is how you do it. You just keep adding and adding and adding, and they know that you're already an expert. So your blogs are going to rank faster. You're probably going to get more traffic, and the more you do this, the better you're going to get at it. So if I deserve a subscribe, I mean, I think I deserve a subscribe. Hit that little button. I hope it's on the right side. Hit that little button. I don't even know at this point. It's a weird looking camera, but hit one of those like button, subscribe, notify, share it out with one of your friends, family members, loved one, maybe your child. Maybe they want to know about this. All right.